Hello, Billy Trimbo here with the Cisco Tech Applications team. In this video, I'd like to show you how to troubleshoot push notification issues for Jabber and Webex clients. If you're having any problems with configuration of the Cisco Cloud Onboarding feature, please refer to my video for configuration of push notification on Communications Manager. For this video, I want to go through how to troubleshoot problems after configuration is already in place. So let's get started. Before we actually begin troubleshooting, I need to mention that the version of Communications Manager should be no earlier than 11.5.1 SU8 or 12.5.1 SU3. If it is earlier than these versions, then the first step should be to upgrade the Communications Manager cluster, as that would be the earliest version for support. The first step in troubleshooting push notification is to enable detailed logs for the services. From the Communications Manager Serviceability page, set these two services to debug level: the Cisco Push Notification Service and the Cisco Management Agent Service. On the IAM@Present server, push messages are handled by the Cisco XCP Config Manager and Cisco XCP Router services. With logs set to debug level, we can test push notification at any time and detailed logs will be collected. However, before we do that, let's perform a few troubleshooting steps. First, check for the network connectivity between the internal servers and the cloud services, just as we did in the first configuration video. This is done from the command line interface through 3 commands. If any of these commands time out, network connectivity should be resolved before going any further. Next, we should check the security certificates in the cluster. Specifically, we need to verify each server has the IdenTrust, Quo Vadis, and GoDaddy certificates in the Tomcat store. This is in Cisco Unified OS Administration under Certificate Management. Each one needs to be opened to check that the fingerprint value matches the same noted in documentation. This should be checked on each server in the cluster, including the IAM@Present servers. You will need to manually upload the correct certificate if either you see the wrong certificate or it's missing. First, delete any incorrect certificate, then upload the new certificates. Always start this from the Communications Manager publisher, as the certificates should be pushed out to all subscribers from that node. The next troubleshooting step is a service restart for push notification services. If any certificate updates are needed, make sure that has been completed first. A general service restart can be done for any push notification issue. It can be impacting for some services, so schedule accordingly. Here are the services involved with push notification. Perform these restarts in order and allow them to complete. Once services have been restarted, allow up to 30 minutes before testing, as it can take some time for changes to take effect. If there are still problems with push notification after these steps, then it's time to obtain the logs from the servers. Note the time of the last push notification test, then use the real-time monitoring tool to download the set of logs for the services that were mentioned before. Likewise, Jabber and Webex logs can be downloaded from the individual clients and retained in case they are needed, but we'll focus on the server logs for this video. At this point, you may want to open a attack case to pursue this further. But let's take a quick look at what a push notification call looks like in the logs. Since the majority of cases revolve around call push notifications, we will focus on the Cisco push notification log from the Communications Manager. Here's an example of what that log file looks like. Open the log file in a Notepad application, and you can search for a few terms to find your call. Request push notification will be the keyword for when Communications Manager has attempted to send a push notification to a device that is unregistered. Here's an example in the log. We can see the time of the event and that this is an incoming call. However, most of the other information is somewhat cryptic. But you can use the tracking ID shown here to search throughout the rest of the log for the same call. Besides the request push notification keyword, we should also see a response push notification for every request that is sent. And at the end of this line contains the status of that response for which a working push notification should end in a 200 status code. But if push notification fails, we may see an error indicating the source of the problem. Or a response for the request may not show up at all. Here's an example of push notification that failed due to certificate issues. Here's one other example of push failing due to a network socket connection issue. Basically, if we never see the push notification response end with a status 200, then the problem is going to be server related. However, if the push notification never reaches the device, even when the server logs don't report an error, then it could be a deeper issue. But the steps we have taken rule out many common problems. An attack case can be opened with much of the preliminary troubleshooting work done and log collection accomplished. I hope this video was helpful in troubleshooting push notification issues. You can also refer to the troubleshooting section of the push notification deployment guide for other common problems. Thank you for watching.